RG3, former Browns quarterback, on ESPN's Get Up this morning, talked about the Browns and Odell Beckham Jr.
Listen, I get everything about the dad, but Odell Beckham, he's not hurting this Cleveland Browns team, but they are hurting him. They're hurting his legacy, his reputation. I mean, people out there disrespecting him, saying he can't play anymore, he can't catch it just because of some of the injuries that he's had and some of the drops. But when you look at Odell Beckham Jr., him and Baker can't even make cereal together, all right? Because they can't decide what milk to use. Is it 2% whole milk? Maybe we use a little goat milk, or maybe we'll just go with kefir. These two guys are not on the same page. They don't mix. They don't mix well together, right? And when I look at Odell, you watch the tape, it tells a different story. He is getting open, but him and Baker aren't on the same page, and it's also this offensive scheme. This scheme is not built to have a primary receiver, and Odell Beckham is that guy. When you pay him that much money, he has to be the guy you're trying to get the ball to 4 or 5 times in the first 15 plays, and that's just not what they're doing with him.
I guess no pressure, no diamonds fits RG3. Let's welcome in Mac Robinson from 92.3 The Fan. Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that one. Odell, his legacy kind of fell off the table after the first 3 years of production. The main thing is, what is a team he's been on won? That's my question.
Yeah, and Dave, the biggest part that I take away is, at what point is it the Browns' responsibility for Odell's legacy? You know, I understand that, you know, some people have talked about, like what he was saying, where, you know, the drops, everything like that. Okay, fine. But at the same time, you know, that's also on Odell. You know, I'm not saying that he is a washed up receiver. I'm not saying that he can't play anymore. But at the same time, in clutch moments, I don't know what it is, Dave. I don't have the answers. But at the same time, Odell has had a ton of drops this year. And like he said, Baker and him, they have a disconnect. I don't know what it is. I have tried to logically figure this out for weeks and over the last year. I don't know. I have been a big supporter of Odell here in Cleveland. But at the same time, I don't know what is gone wrong and what has gone wrong for this situation as a whole. But at the same time, it's not on Kevin Stefanski to cater to Odell at that point. You know, for him, it's about setting up what's best for the offense. And, you know, I will say I did think that, you know, Odell would have success here in Cleveland. But at the same time, I don't know what it is at this point. You know, again, if you do want to get this situation figured out, and I'll give Odell credit to this point where, you know, again, you haven't really heard much dissension and, you know, a lot of unhappiness behind the scenes up until now. I don't know what it was where he just all of a sudden just threw up the bad signal, and all of his family and friends just started to throw out free Odell, free Odell, free Odell. This felt like the closest that we've had since 2016 to 2017, where something out of, you know, a fax machine getting sabotaged by Sashi Brown to stop the A.J. McCarron deal. Now you have Odell at this point sending his dad out there like he's a high school kid who's getting benched by his coach, who's, you know, using some of the other players that might have more favor with the coaching staff. I don't understand what it is. This felt like the most juvenile BS that we've had to deal with in a while. And it's just unprofessional. And to be honest, it undermines a lot of what this entire team and the culture that everybody has been talking up. It really undermines just about everything that Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski and company have really built up to this point.
Yeah, and you know, again, Kevin Stefanski's system does not, it's not receiver friendly, so it shouldn't be a surprise. Stephon Diggs wanted out of it. That's why they ended up trading him to Buffalo. The other thing is people keep, you know, why didn't you trade Odell? You know, why didn't they trade him? He probably would not have passed a physical given the way his shoulder is banged up, so that would not have enabled them to trade him at the trade deadline. And I think that also kind of coincides with, you know, his frustration level is, you know, one target against the Steelers and the trade deadline. He was hoping to move on. Again, I don't think that shoulder would pass a physical that would enable you to trade him.